You've been lied to. You've been lied to by society. You've been lied to by the media. You've been lied to by content creators. You've even been lied to by women themselves. And that lie that you've been told is that looks are all that matter. If you just think about it for 3 seconds, it will become obvious why that's the case. Have you ever wondered why a lot of guys who don't have looks on their side still get women? Have you ever been to a theme park and just see the type of men who are walking around there with wives and children? Men who don't look good at all, by the way, but yet they have a happy family. What's going on there? Have you ever thought about it? Conversely, have you ever seen very attractive guys having a problem with keeping women around? Have you ever seen people like Tom Brady or Michael B. Jordan, or name any celebrity male that's like gets a lot of female attention, just not be able to keep the interest of women over long term? Have you ever asked yourself what's going on there? Why does reality seem to not connect with what I've been told? Because the truth is, looks do matter, but they don't matter as much as you think. And more importantly, the question, do looks matter, is the wrong question. The better question is, in what way does looks matter, and when do looks matter the most? You're going to learn the answers to those questions in this video, and you're also going to understand, if you don't have looks going for you, what you can do to start getting results immediately with women. So the first thing you have to understand is the reason why so many men think that looks matter or are the only thing, the most important thing, is due to projection. A lot of guys don't understand that the attraction mechanisms between men and women are not the same. I'm gonna say that again. The way men become attracted and the way women become attracted are different. Men are attracted primarily through looks. And because we are attracted primarily through looks, we assume women operate the same way. But that is not correct. The reality is, men's attraction is static, meaning men are primarily only measuring looks. Whereas the way women become attracted is more elastic, it's more dynamic, meaning there's more going on underneath the hood. And the reason for this is because women have higher biological stakes when it comes to choosing a person to be with. Think about everything that has to be involved when it comes to a woman deciding you're the guy, right? She has to worry about stability. She has to worry about if you're going to stick around. She has to worry about if her life is going to move in an upward trajectory, or she's going to choose to be with you, right? Are you going to be there for the kids? Men only have to worry about that ass is fat. That's all that's on our mind, is that ass fat, right? There's a lot less consideration going on the male's end than the woman's end. There's a quote by Dr. David Buss. He's an evolutionary psychologist. He really understands deeply the differences between men and women and why we do what we do. And he says that for men, physical appearance is a cue to fertility. For women, behavior is a cue to resourcefulness and commitment. So what does that reveal about women and what they become attracted to? It reveals that behavior is the primary thing that women respond to. That does not mean looks don't matter. That does not mean that looks don't play a part of the dance of attraction. What it does mean is a lot more weight is given to your behavior than what is given to your looks when it comes to women becoming attracted to you. And guys don't understand this because it doesn't work that way for us, right? If a woman comes up to you and you aren't physically attracted to her at all, it doesn't matter what she does, right? For us, it's like, I don't care how funny you are. I don't care how confident you are. I don't care how much money you make. If I'm not attracted to you, if that ass ain't fat, nothing's going to happen here unless I'm really desperate, right? But women don't operate the same way. Their attraction mechanisms are more elastic. I remember seeing like women, there was a thread on X a while back where women were talking about Michael B. Jordan. And they were talking about how like in some roles he's attractive and in some roles he's not attractive at all. How do you explain that? Did Michael B. Jordan's face change in some of these roles? No. Did his height change? No. Did his muscles change? He may have gained like a little bit more muscle, but that didn't make a difference. So what changed? The role changed. His performance changed. In other words, his behavior changed. When he played in that superhero movie where they had like telekinesis, he was not attractive to women. But when he played in Black Panther, he was very attractive to women. The difference is in the behavior. Same man, different behavior. I really hope this is making sense, because once this clicks, your experience with women will completely transform for the rest of your life. You're going to know exactly what they pay attention to the most so that you can shift your strategy and improve your outcomes. So the question now, women are mostly attracted to behavior. What behavior are they most attracted to? I'll give you some examples. Confidence, obviously, is one. Charisma is another. Social skills is another. Being able to work a room and have a lot of attention on you and to lead others is one. Being popular is one. Having boundaries is one. Not being so emotionally reactive so that you're more dependable is one. When you start to incorporate these behaviors, you naturally become more attractive to the opposite sex. And you don't just become more attractive to the opposite sex, the rest of your life improves. When you incorporate those behaviors, when you incorporate and internalize those characteristics, they transfer to other areas of life. Making money will be easier because you have social skills and leadership qualities, right? Networking will be easier. You'll be generally more happier with life when you start to incorporate these characteristics. Because I say that because a lot of men feel like, well, why do I have to do all this for women? You don't. Women are a byproduct. They're the cherry on top. You incorporate these behaviors for you, you get the benefits that life gives you for incorporating those behaviors, and then women are just extra. That's the game, guys. That's what you should be focused on. That should be how you think about this. Because when you start to demonstrate these behaviors in your interactions with women, you start tapping into deeper levels of attraction. And those deeper levels of attraction are psychological attraction. And the reason why this is important is because psychological attraction has more staying power than looks. Think about it. Looks fade, right? Looks are something you also get used to. If you're in a relationship with a good looking person, that's great for a while, but over time, over the years, like, not only do looks fade, but you start to be accustomed to that person. And if you're able to get a person who looks this good, you can get another person who looks just as good. So there's really no reason to stay committed to that person. The thing that creates staying power and the thing that's more rare are the behaviors that create psychological attraction. These have a longer shelf life. If you're charismatic, if you're funny, if you have confidence, these are things that are going to make attraction more sticky. They're going to stand the test of time, and they're more rare to come across because the vast majority of men do not have these characteristics. We've known for ages that psychological attraction is more powerful because that's how pimps operate, right? That's the reason why a lot of pimps say, like, if you have a woman's mind, you have her heart. Because all of this stuff, all the attraction for women is a mental game. And when you internalize that, you'll never see them the same. And you can more easily get results because now you're focused on the right target. And this is really relevant for all men because I kind of put men into two different categories, right? When it comes to attracting women. There are men who can get women passively and there are men who have to get women actively. The guys who can get women passively, they typically put a lot of emphasis on looks and like status, right? So these are guys who maybe are muscular, in good shape, lean, have good facial genetics. Maybe they're a bit tall. Maybe they have a degree of status. These are men who can get women passively. They don't have to really inject a lot of energy into attracting women. It just kind of comes on. It just kind of comes on autopilot. The other guys who maybe don't have as much status, who don't have looks in their favor, they have to get women more actively. These are guys who have to lean into a bit more of their behavior. But if you were to compare the two, the men who engage in more active attraction win over time because they're tapping into that psychological attraction component. The way that they attract women has more staying power. If you talk to men who, are getting women passively, you'll learn that a lot of them can't keep women. The guys online who are talking about looks matching can't keep a relationship, bro. They can't keep a woman around. And they solve that problem by just constantly replacing women. And like, yeah, that's fine. But it's like, do you want that? Do you want to keep running through women? Or do you want to build intimacy with one woman? I know what I would choose. So maybe asking yourself, what should you do with all this information? What should you do with this information about how women are attracted? I'll tell you, you should do what you can to be in both buckets. Be a guy that can passively get women and be a guy who can actively get women. That means you develop the behavior and the characteristics of the active guy, and you do what you can to maximize your aesthetics and your status like the passive guys. That way, you're in the best of both worlds, and you can really have your way out here because so few men do it. They either become lazy and they go the passive route, or they focus exclusively on the active route and then they may burn themselves out. But when it comes to where you should put the most of your energy, it should be attracting actively. Because again, that psychological attraction, that's when you're going to experience devotion, right? You're going to experience women really giving themselves to you, being committed to you, when you can tap into that psychological attraction. And it could be hard to learn because there's a lot of conflicting information out there, right? A lot of guys watch tons of videos like this. They look at ton of creators and coaches. They consume a lot of YouTube content, a lot of TikToks. So what I did to simplify things for you was I created a course called the Retainment Blueprint. The Retainment Blueprint is essentially me taking the key concepts you need to know and putting you through the exact same system that I put my paid 4-figure coaching clients through. In this system, you're going to understand how to generate more psychological attraction. You're going to understand how to get that devotion from women. And you're going to understand how to get higher quality women. And results are guaranteed because when you purchase the course, you also get access to my Telegram group where I can coach you personally. That means I give you my personal insight to your situation. Most guys experience results even after watching 2 to 3 videos in this course. So you have a decision to make. You can either keep doing things the way you've been doing them and let the years fly by because this problem does not solve itself. I have a couple of clients in their 40s and 50s who thought they were just going to stumble across that magical woman and it didn't happen. Now they have to play the game on hard mode because they're kind of aging out of the market. You don't want that. You want to solve the problem when it's easy to solve. So if you want to actually solve your issue and not wait years until you become desperate, I'll put a link in the description for the Retainment Blueprint. I'll see you on the other side.